Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. And tonight, I want to talk about living in your purpose, living in your calling. You see, when I was in my 20s, I'm talking about 21 to 27 years old. I was about to say 25, but I was working, strenuous jobs all the way up until I was 27. I worked many strenuous jobs, 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, 14-hour shifts. And I never slowed down. I did the overtimes. I did the weekends. I did the holidays. I gave so much devotion, time, and attention to these jobs that I forgot to find what my purpose was. I forgot to find what my purpose was because I didn't realize what my calling was. I didn't realize what my purpose was. I didn't have any direction for my life. So I got down on my knees one night and I asked the Heavenly Father what my purpose is. What is my calling, my reason for being on this earth? And the Lord revealed it's poetry. The Heavenly Father revealed that it's poetry. So I said to myself, I want to share this poetry with as many people in my life as I possibly can. So on July 29th, 2019, I started my very first podcast. And I was new to it. I didn't know anything about audio. I didn't know anything about, a pod track. I didn't know anything about, an audio soundboard. I didn't know anything about a proper, like YouTube or podcast setup. I just had my phone, my microphone, my laptop, and my headphones. And I recorded my very first podcast in that format right there. So after I conceived my very first podcast episode being created, I said to myself, this is my purpose. This is my calling. And I began writing more poetry to share on the podcast platform. And as I began to do that, I got more comfortable with writing and sharing poetry. I went from speaking like this on the podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Poetry Corner podcast. This is your host, Matt Foster, for all those who didn't know. To talking like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Poetry Corner podcast. This is your host, Matt Foster, for all those who didn't know. And that confidence came from living in my purpose for so long, doing this for so long. And getting fulfillment from it, might I add. Because when you're living in your purpose, whatever it is, it could be carpentry. It could be, working with tools. It could be, working on cars. It could be painting. It could be modeling. It could be fashion design. It can be healthcare. But when you are living in your purpose, you get fulfillment from it. You know what I mean? You get a feeling in your heart of joy from what you're doing. I want to give a major shout out to my cousin. Hold on, y'all. I want to give a major shout out to my cousin Shannon, who became a CNA recently. Major shout out to you, Shannon. We love you. The family loves you. God bless you and congratulations. But that's her calling. You know what I mean? That's her calling. And when you're living in your purpose and your calling, you get fulfillment and joy from it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, find what your purpose is. Yeah, you there in that purpose, you will find fulfillment. So I said to myself that day that I got off of work, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep giving all this time and attention to these corporations and these jobs and not getting absolutely any fulfillment from it. So I said to myself, what is my purpose and my calling? Because I want to live only in that from now on. And through that, finding my purpose, I gained a hobby. I gained fulfillment in a hobby. So now I just write poetry day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. And it comes like a second nature to me, and your purpose might be different. Your calling might be different than mine. And, I want you to get that same fulfillment from it. But until you live in your purpose, you're not going to get any fulfillment from anything else. I promise you. It's a joy that, you never knew you needed. You never knew that you would feel. And I want you, ladies and gentlemen, the viewer, anyone that is watching this video, to ask the Heavenly Father what your purpose is on this earth. And he'll reveal it to you. He'll reveal it to you guys. Man. He will reveal it if you have faith in him. And I promise you, I absolutely promise you, you'll find great joy in it. And my only tidbit of advice is this. It's not going to be easy. When you first start living in your purpose, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have your days you're going to feel like quitting. You're going to have days where you're going to say to yourself, I can't keep doing this. You know, something's got to give. I need to find something better. Should I go back to that old job? Should I go back to doing this and this and this? But don't give up. And don't quit. Live in your purpose. Discover what your calling is. And in that, you will gain your fulfillment. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for tuning into this video. I love you guys. God bless. Good night. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.